Inflation, the economic equivalent of finding out your favorite ice cream, is now half the size but twice the price. As of 2024, the global economy has been navigating through a labyrinth of economic challenges, primarily centered around inflation and economic growth. The combination of post-pandemic recovery, geopolitical tensions, and supply chain disruptions has made this year particularly volatile. Let's take a closer look at the current economic concerns. The global inflation landscape. The year 2024 has been quite the roller coaster for inflation across the globe. According to the International Monetary Fund, global inflation is expected to decline from 6.8% in 2023 to 5.9% in 2024. This reduction, while promising, still leaves many countries grappling with higher than desired inflation rates. Advanced economies are seeing a faster return to their inflation targets compared to emerging markets, highlighting a trend of resilience amidst economic adversity. The IMF's World Economic Outlook reveals that global growth is projected to stay at 3.1% in 2024, despite the persistent inflationary pressures. This steady yet slow growth underscores the challenges that remain, such as structural frictions in labor and capital markets, which prevent more robust economic expansion. The U.S. inflation story. In the United States, the inflation rate as of June 2024 stood at 3%. This marks a significant decrease from the 6.5% at the end of 2022, thanks to the Federal Reserve's aggressive monetary policies. The Fed has kept interest rates high, between 5.25% and 5.5%, but plans to gradually reduce them starting mid-2024 if the inflation trajectory remains stable. Consumer spending, which has been robust, is expected to slow down, influenced by factors such as diminished excess savings and the resumption of student loan payments. Additionally, there are emerging signs of stress in consumer finances, with increased subprime auto and credit card delinquencies among millennials. Despite these challenges, tight labor markets and healthy household balance sheets provide some cushion against economic turbulence. Economic concerns among Americans. Americans are particularly concerned about rising prices for food, gas, and housing. A Pew Research Center survey indicates that nearly all Americans, 96%, are somewhat concerned about the rising prices of food and consumer goods, with 3/4 expressing strong concern. Gasoline and energy prices also top the list of worries, reflecting the broader anxiety over everyday expenses. The survey also reveals a stark partisan divide in financial optimism, with Republicans showing a significant decline in positive financial assessments since 2021. This dip in financial optimism is mirrored in the general expectations for the future, with a notable portion of the population anticipating their financial situation to worsen over the next year. Moreover, the survey highlights that economic concerns are not limited to basic necessities. Many Americans are also worried about the cost of healthcare and education, which have seen steady increases. This multifaceted economic anxiety underscores the challenges faced by policymakers in addressing inflation comprehensively. Additionally, regional variations show that states with higher living costs, such as California and New York, experience even greater pressure, amplifying the overall sense of financial strain among residents. Europe's economic outlook. In Europe, the inflation scenario mirrors that of the U.S., albeit with some regional peculiarities. The European Central Bank has been actively managing inflation, which is projected to hover around 2.6% by the end of 2024. However, concerns about persistent inflation remain, particularly due to geopolitical tensions and supply chain disruptions. The European economies are also dealing with slower growth prospects, influenced by ongoing structural issues and the broader impacts of global economic trends. The ECB's policies are aimed at stabilizing prices while fostering conditions conducive to economic recovery, though the path ahead remains challenging. Adding to these complexities, the energy crisis stemming from geopolitical conflicts, particularly the war in Ukraine, continues to exert pressure on inflation. Furthermore, the region faces labor market frictions and a significant shift towards green energy, which, while necessary, adds layers of economic strain in the short term. Despite these efforts, achieving a balance between stimulating growth and controlling inflation remains a tightrope walk for the European Central Bank and European policymakers. That's all for today's video. Give us a thumbs up because just like inflation, your support helps us grow, but in a good way. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Have any funny inflation jokes or thoughts on the current economy? Drop them in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going and the laughter rolling. That's all for today's video. Give us a thumbs up because just like inflation, your support helps us grow, but in a good way. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Have any funny inflation jokes or thoughts on the current economy? Drop them in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going and the laughter rolling.